Hi there, let's talk a little bit about what mindfulness is. So mindfulness in quite a simple way is bringing your awareness and attention into this moment and just noticing what you find. And so first of all, you can be aware of your internal environment. So you could notice your own thoughts, you could be aware of that. How do you feel right now? You could also notice how the body is presenting itself, like body sensations and things. You can notice yourself sitting in contact, so you can begin to use the senses, and you could use the senses to engage with the external environment. So I can feel body sitting here right now, I can smell, I can taste, I can hear sounds around, I can see things, I can smell, those types of things. And my first meditation teacher was a guy called Rob Nairn, and he had a definition of mindfulness, and he said mindfulness is knowing what's happening while it's happening without preference. So you know that you're sitting here right now, you know that you're listening to me chat a little bit about mindfulness, and of course you've got preferences, so you like things, you dislike certain things, you're neutral about other things, which in one way is kind of normal. We all have our own preference systems. But actually, when you sort of notice how preference shows up a little bit in life, you can see that there's this grasping onto things that I like and trying to continue to go there and pushing stuff away that I don't like. It's also been referred to as attachment and aversion, And how does that play out in your own life? As you're moving through life, you probably want things to be a certain way. And when things don't go according to plan, and what happens, let's say you get to the train station and you're waiting for a train and you're on time, and then you look up at the board up there and it says your train has been delayed for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And your initial reaction is to maybe get a little bit annoyed, even though 10 minutes, it's not so much of a big deal. You still get where you need to be on time and things like that. So that's just mindfulness in quite a simple way. And if you decide to do some sort of meditation, what you will quite quickly discover is that the mind doesn't stay present in this moment for very long at all. So within a matter of seconds, without you asking it to, the mind will wander off into some sort of distraction. And initially you won't even notice that. It'll already have moved away, and you'll be thinking about maybe the future, or you're thinking about the past, or you're zoning out and falling asleep, or you're just kind of idly chatting away to yourself. And in a lot of ways, we've taught the mind to be distracted for sort of many years. So I would guess that when you were at school, unless you're a little bit younger when you listen to this video, you probably didn't get taught mindfulness when you were at school. Most of your activity in the world has got something to do with busyness, and also how you rest and relax also has something probably to do with keeping the mind active in some way. Like you're watching the TV, you're reading a book or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that again, but do you actually spend much time where your mind is just resting without needing to look at the phone and do things and all of that? You could just rest and allow the mind to settle. So why might mindfulness be helpful? So mindfulness has been studied for many years. Mindfulness itself is nothing new, so mindfulness in a talk context has been around for about 2,600 years. So you meditators, your spiritual contemplatives. And mindfulness in more popular culture probably came about and was made popular about 40 years ago by a guy called Jon Kabat-Zinn, who's an experienced meditator. He was working in a hospital setting and he wanted to run some meditation practices with a mixed group of patients that he was working with. And he started to run some meditation practices, and what his clients reported were that they were feeling calmer, less reactive, more in tune with internal and external environment. They were sleeping better, etc., etc. And then, of course, the research became interested in that. And there's thousands of research papers written probably on an annual basis now. If you've got an area of your own particular interest, maybe it's mindfulness and sleep, mindfulness in sport, mindfulness in stress, anxiety, focusing and concentrating, whatever it is, mindfulness in health, mindfulness at work and education. You'll find research papers written on it now. So that's a little bit about what mindfulness is and perhaps what it might be good for. I've been teaching mindfulness for a number of years now. Maybe we'll talk about that in a different video. So I've probably taught nearly 1,000 people mindfulness up until this date. And what I notice about people who come on the courses that I run is most of them want to feel better in some way. And that's the reason why the step in initially into a mindfulness program and they want to give it a go. So there's nothing wrong with that. And that's where most people would start. So that's a little bit about what mindfulness is for now and what it might be good for. Thanks.